Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Mystery Theory. I am trying a new setup, and I'm hoping that if it's out on YouTube, it means that this time worked. As soon as I uploaded my last video, my Blue Yeti stopped working. I think it's fixed, but hopefully we will see with the quality of the audio for this video. Today I want to do wrap up for my reading for the month of August. I think that I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I read a total of 6, but I think that one of the books I have here I finished in July. So it doesn't really matter. It's all about sharing with you my latest reads and talking to you about some books that I didn't enjoy. And I have two books that I didn't enjoy. And I'll tell you why in this video. The first book I want to talk about was almost a 5-star book. If it wasn't because of one of the points of view, it would have been a perfect 5-star. But this is Every Last Fear. It is by Alex Finley. Now, after I read this book, I went into his backlist of books and I read 2 more. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Now, this book opens with an FBI agent telling this college student at NYU that his entire family died in Mexico while they were on spring break vacation. The family that died was the father, the mother, the teenage daughter, and the youngest brother. Now, if that wasn't interesting enough, we're going to learn that the oldest brother is in prison for allegedly murdering his high school girlfriend. The other brother is the one at NYU, and he is responsible for taking care of the bodies, bringing them to the US, and that's how it starts. As we go through this book, we get Maggie, which is the teenage daughter point of view, as she investigates and digs to prove that her brother in prison is innocent. The father is also sure that his son is innocent, but unfortunately, there was a Netflix show made about the case, and it's painting Danny, the older brother, as the actual killer. This book, everything that you read, every single word you read on this book will tie to the story somehow. What we learn about what happened with the older brother, it's crazy. The secrets, the webs of lies, and why was this family at this place in Mexico? What were they trying to uncover? It is so good. Needless to say, it was so entertaining, so thrilling. I was at the edge of my seat. The audiobook is really good. It kept me engaged when I listened to the audio, because when I didn't have the time, I still wanted, when I didn't have the time to sit down and open this book, I still wanted to be listening to the story. So, definitely recommended. Alex Finley is a lawyer, and I think that's most of the authors I like are lawyers. I think that they're good at making sure there are no loose ends, and it's very satisfying for my brain. I wouldn't marry a lawyer because, I mean, you can tell their brains kind of all over the place and twisted, but a bit of a psychopath in them, but so good. I think you should read it. The other almost 5-star book I read is Sherry Lupina's What Have You Done? I heard mixed reviews on this book, but I think that if you like true crime, multiple POVs, and like is a word that I shouldn't have used, but like if it interests you, then I think this book would be for you. This is the story of, well, let me start from the beginning. this opens with a farmer that notices that there are big, like, what are they called? Those birds that. Let me look it up because now it's gonna bother me. And I'm not gonna edit it out because it's normal for a person to not remember stuff, especially when your brain speaks to you in Spanish. It says that it's nearing the end of October. The air is crisp. The trees are alive with color. And when the farmer glances up, there's a dark figure or dark figures circling against the bright blue sky. And they are turkey vultures. So hard to remember. Anyway, what happens is that he notices that, and he knows that more than likely there's gonna be a dead animal. I don't know if we have turkey vultures here. I really don't know. But we do have, I don't know what they're called. I call them crows, I'm sure they're not. But this big prey, what are they called? The animals that eat dead stuff. Please put it in the comments. I can think of the word in Spanish. Is it scavengers? I think so. Anyway, the farmer sees that, and when I see that here, I know that there's probably a dead deer. And if it's in our property, I follow it until I find it. Unfortunately, in this case, when the farmer gets to what the birds or turkey vultures are circling, they realize they've been eating the stomach of a girl that's dead in his field. This girl is the daughter of this is a single mom that lives in this small town. She's a nurse, and this is the popular girl at the high school. From there, we get different point of views from her mom, the boyfriend's parents, the boyfriend that saw her that night, two friends, high school friends. We get a point of view of one, two, I don't remember if 2 or 3 suspects, and who gets cleared and who doesn't. I have to say that I haven't been shocked at the ending of a book like this, shocked, for a really long time. I feel like I would have never guessed who done it. Like, when you think you know, think again, because you don't. This is your typical thriller with about 306 pages. So I binged it in a couple of days. I actually started reading it from our copy here at the library. But then, let me move some stuff around. But then I decided to purchase my own copy when I went to visit family in Utah. I went to Target. 30% off always gets me. I'll do a small haul in the future. So I love this book because I thought the ending was really unexpected, because I thought I knew who done it and I didn't. I love the different point of views. I love to follow the story through different eyes. The boyfriend's parents that know that the kid lied. I don't know, it's good because you get all these point of views that come together and it makes a whole story. But you see it through all these people filters and perspectives. And I loved it. I didn't give it a 5-star because I didn't like the supernatural element, but it's just so minuscule and such a small part of this book that it's fine. I mean, I could have skipped the supernatural pieces and still enjoy this book. I didn't know it, so I read them, but I thought they were kind of silly. And it's also not as supernatural as the book suggests. And let's see. It says the teenagers get their kicks telling ghost stories in the old graveyard. That's at 0.001% of the story. I still loved it. Recommend it. I may do a review just to bore you out of your mind in a future video, because I want to quote some parts of this book. I also have a lot of quotes here on every last fear. Ignore my nails. I've been decorating the library and I'm not gentle. Anyway, I think it's on page 247. We learned why this book, it's called What Have You Done? And it creeped me out. Like, somebody says this to somebody else, and it's in such a claustrophobic situation. It's so good. I love that she titled this book, What Have You Done? I thought that was the creepiest part of this book. There's another book that I will put on the screen that is called What Have We Done? Instead of What Have You Done? And it's by Alex Finley, and I love that book. It's almost a 5-star. I'll put the ratings on the screen because I don't quite remember it, but it was almost a 5-star too, and it wasn't because of one of the point of views. But in this book we follow, or it opens. That's how I like to start my reviews. It opens with a scene of 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or 5 teenagers, and they are, I think they're at the top of a hill, and they are all looking down into this hole, and they have a gun, and they start passing the gun around. And then we fast forward to, I think, 20 years in the future, and we get different point of views of those teenagers, now adults, who got married, who got kids. And in the opening scene of each one of them, you get somebody trying to kill them. And it's in the most random ways. One of them was in a cruise, and he was forced to jump. The other one was asked to kill somebody, and when she didn't, then they tried to kill her. The other one, at a mining accident, they wanted to make it all seem like an accident, and there were some parts in the middle of the book, as each character is developing their story, where I felt like it could have used a little bit of a faster pace, but it was so good. It was so everything clicked together at the end, and it's a satisfying book. Well, it's thoroughly entertaining as you read it. I'm going to insert here a little rant, and for my younger, this is gonna sound bad, but I'm just gonna say it. I feel like my generation, older millennial generation, really gets the thrills from, yes, an interesting story, yes, a smart story that comes together at the end, but also, like, I want to be entertained throughout this book, or this movie. But I feel like, and I'll tell you, like, I got a couple of books here that will give away my maybe aging self. I don't know. But, like, I feel like Gen Z gets entertained with like a story, but they don't care if they're thoroughly entertained, as long as the ending is entertaining enough. And some books are written that way, but I particularly like to be entertained for most of the book. I can't wait until the last 50 pages to find it entertaining. So, a book like this, or a book like this, is entertaining, keeping my attention on the book. Well, a book like I'm gonna mention at the end, it's like you're living in a fever dream where you don't know what's real and what it isn't, what isn't, and you like it. Like, they wait until the very end, and they like that, to wait until the very end to make everything make sense. And like, the ending has the most value, and to me it's the entire book, it's the entire movie. When I went to see my son in Utah, it was a Friday night, 10 p.m., and we didn't know what to do. We're like, let's go watch a scary movie. So we go and we watch Long Legs. And maybe you watched that movie, and I thought the ending was great, but I did not understand the entire movie. I was like, okay. Oh. No, still? No, don't get it. Oh, maybe. Wait, no. Like, I felt that movie made me feel so unbelievably dumb. Like, I need somebody to explain to me the movie, when that's not true. I just don't get all the confusing things before we get to the end of the story. So, the books I recommend, or the ones I enjoy, you may not, but I found them thoroughly entertaining. Most of the book was entertaining, and the ending was like, your aha moment apparently has been lost. Now, a rant over. Back to What Have We Done? I really enjoyed that book. Again, Alex Finley leaves no loose ends, and at the end it comes all together and it all makes sense. The ending shocked me. Who was behind this whole thing? And maybe you'd be able to guess it, but why he did it and who was he with? Or, oh my gosh, so shocking, so good, so entertaining. All I wanted to do was put on my headset, go mow 2 acres while I listened to my book. Like, I felt like I had to go out and mow to have an excuse to put this audiobook. The physical book, when I read it with my eyes, was amazing. You know, sometimes you like one more than the other. I like them both. And I love the story. Now, I am recording with my phone, so I can't look up my Goodreads. So I'm going to talk about 3 more books. The best one out of the 3 I have left is House of Glass by Sarah Pekkanen. I got this through Book of the Month. And if you want to sign up for Book of the Month using my link, I get a free book. So thank you. I'll have that link down below if you're interested. I don't remember how much it is a month. Then you get 1 hardcover book. If you don't pick a book a month, then they won't send it to you. So you have to go into their app and pick the book that they have a selection, but you pick the one that you like the most, and that's when they charge you for it. Now, this was my pick for the month of July. I also got Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. And I didn't like it, but I'll tell you in a minute. Once you are signed up for 3 months through Book of the Month, they unlock something where you can pick a book for your monthly subscription and then an extra for $9.99 for a hardcover book, which is a great deal. And I buy books with a discount for the library. Anyway, let's talk about House of Glass. House of Glass opens with a judge asking better interest attorney, I think that's what she is. Yeah, somewhere here it says that. He asks this better interest attorney to take on the case of Rose Barkley. Rose, I believe, is 9, and she witnessed her nanny jumping or being pushed, either or, from her room, like the nanny's room, at their house, at the Barkley's house. Now the parents are divorcing, and this better interest attorney needs to decide who she's gonna stay with. But was this a murder? Was this a suicide? We don't know. So she goes, she visits the house. The house is creepy as heck. There's no glass. There's not even a glass cup. And she starts to talk to this little girl who, after the incident, went mute. And she needs to know what she saw. If she saw somebody pushing the nanny, who is this girl going to be safe with? I have a lot of tabs. I had more. I was gonna do a full review on it, but I don't know if I highlighted the parts that I wanted to share. There are some parts in books that I really feel like they deserve their highlight in a review, but this was a 3.75 stars, so almost a 4. And it was only because the more I read these books, the more I understand that I don't like to read books about rich people, conceited people, larger than life people. I really don't care. Like, I wouldn't be friends with them. I wouldn't want to have a relationship with them. And I was like, what the heck? These parents were so messy, so money weirdos, flaunting what they had, scared of this little girl because they thought that maybe she did something. It was an interesting and entertaining book. I just didn't care for the characters, and that's a big part of my enjoyment in books. So it was good and I recommend it, but it wasn't my favorite. Now we are getting to 2-star territory, and this is an unpopular opinion. This has rave reviews, and I don't get it. this opens. Well, I don't even remember how it opens. Let me see if I can. Oh, I think I know. It opens with a cringy scene. Okay, never mind. Let's start with something different. This is the story about Bella. Bella is 8, and she is having some horrible visions of an entity that calls itself Other Mummy. This entity visits her in her room and asks to go into her heart. The mom and dad are going through a hard time. The mom, she's evil. I hate when people make excuses when they make wrong choices over and over. Because once, I get it. That's a mistake. But if you do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, ma'am, you're asking for it. Okay, so the entire book, and this is what really pisses me off, is the POV. Oh shoot, I remember I have some mark things. The entire book is from the little girl's point of view. I'm gonna read you some parts because it's so freaking weird. So what happens is that every night she goes to bed, her parents are gonna go tuck her in, and Bella pretends to be asleep. The parents have this extensive, detailed monologues of all the things they do that are wrong. And it's not like, I'm sorry I didn't take you to the park, Bella. Sleeping Bella. No, it's like, well, yeah, I cheat. I like drugs, alcohol, party, sex. Like, who does that? Like, who goes at night and confess these things to their kids while they're sleeping? Not me. And then the part is, the worst part is that we are like hearing the dad say all these things, but it's all from her point of view. So she is telling you, well, my mommy smells like another person, and my mommy had 27 drinks, and mommy is sorry. Then I'm like, why? Add the mom's POV and keep it separate. Didn't like that. Okay. It makes no sense, I put here. Okay. This is the mom and the father reminiscing of their childhood. And it says, quote, I was a little person amongst thousands of legs. Legs and pants. How did we even know who our real parents were? Vacations were a nightmare. I'd be walking with my mom and dad, and a woman would be looking down at me out of her mind, confused, because he confused a stranger for his mom. Like, okay, why are we... This doesn't tie to the story. This is useless information that I don't think it's relevant to the story. And how sad you didn't know who your parents were. Like, I have some memory of when I was 3, 4 years old, and I knew who my mom was. Like, I wasn't looking at pants and legs and trying to figure out who my mom was. It's like weird. The other thing is that I was annoyed at the father. Like, he used to say something like, if they actually saw what your mom saw the other night. Like, seriously? Bella's been seeing this, and you're worried about your wife, a grown woman? Stop calling it what you call it, the dad said. Your mom doesn't like it. Like, sir? Are you out of your freaking mind? Like, what about Bella? The mom is having a completely mental meltdown. And so he's saying that it's because of what she saw, which is what Bella's seeing. Why are we worried about the mom? Let's see. I can keep going. I highlighted all those stupid things that made no sense. And I'm not saying Josh Malerman is a bad author. I think he did a great job of creating a really series of creepy scenes that I thought were pretty scary. But all the rest is like, really? Are we just saying that? I just think that it would have been such a better book, in my humble non-author opinion, if we would have gotten different point of views from the mom. At least one more point of view. The little kid point of view did not work for me. Having said that, I did finish it in three sittings during my 3-day fishing thing. We're going to have another fishing. It's local, so it's not even a trip. But like, we do this all day fishing trips with my kids and my husband. So I'll probably take my next book there. But this I finish in 3 sittings. It's very simple to follow. Very, very easy to read. Finally, we used to live here by Cleaver. Is his last name Marcus Cleaver, I think. The book will be on the screen. That book makes me feel so old, and like I need my kids to explain to me things. It was not a satisfying ending. I felt like the entire book was a fever dream. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't understand it. It opens with Eve at her new house they bought in an isolated place in Oregon. This is a big old style house, and Eve and her partner Charlie are going to fix it. Charlie's out, Eve's alone. A knock on the door, and it's a man with his wife and 2 kids. Fun. Then he says, I used to live here. we're moving out of state, and I love to go in and show this house to my family. Where this is the house where I grew up. Long story short, she can't get rid of them. They stay. Her, I don't know if girlfriend, wife comes back. This random people are inside the house. Windows are moving. Things are getting out of its place. And it's going to be a Netflix series, I think. Mini-series. Maybe something like Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House. And I think the book will be amazing when it's put into when it's adapted to the screen. But as a book, I thought that I didn't get a lot of the references. I was not scared. I was not thrilled. I didn't like Eve. Didn't care for Charlie. This family was just a dysfunctional family. The little girl was weird, but it's one of those books that you're like, okay, I need to finish it because at the end, I'm gonna find out what really happened. Guess what? You don't. So you better pick up everything throughout the book, or you're gonna have to read it for a second time. Now, I'm gonna put you on a piece of homework where I want you to look on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, it doesn't matter, and look up, I need you to look up spoilers for that book. There's not one video I could find with spoilers because my unpopular opinion and maybe my boomer side is saying that most people didn't understand it. That's all I'm gonna say. I am so sorry, but any book, if you look up spoilers for this, you'll find them. Spoilers for this one, you'll find them. Are you kidding me? What do you mean? I think that people are just jumping on the idea of this being a creepy book because they found the book scary. But I don't think that most people got the ending. And to me, it was so boring. And again, it may be showing my age. It may be showing I'm an old millennial. And maybe I'm ready to read boomer books. Maybe. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but all I'm saying is how freaking ridiculous it is that you have to, after you read the book, go back and say, wait, let me read the entire book so I can catch up and try to make sense of the ending. No, we're not doing that. So I think I did 6 books, and those are my recent reads. Probably I have more that I read in July, but these are the ones I had, and this is an impromptu video, just trying my new setup. If it works, if the mic is working properly, I will do a true crime video next, and it's going to be whispered. I felt like even if this audio is not perfect but is soft spoken, could be usable. Thank you so much for hanging with me here at the library. I'll see you guys